talk about it. Yeah, I do have something, but I just can't talk about it. There's certain things. I'll tell you if I.
Hello, hello. Okay, there. Guys, yeah, I think you guys can hear me now. Okay, here we go. All right, let me put my microphone on 1 second. All right, here we go. Yeah, I think you guys can hear me now. Here we go. Showing up. That was weird. Sorry about that. So sorry about that. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. All right, so I'm just gonna jump right into it, and yeah, I do have those. Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch that, and again, apologies for that. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Actually, let me say hi to everybody. How rude of me. How rude of me. Della Dank, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, well, I'm gonna play both of those interviews. So hang tight, grab your coffee, and we'll go over that. So Della Dank, good to see you. Native Girl, good to see you. Connie, good to see you. This is gonna be a pretty chill live. Pretty chill live. It's a Sunday. Sunday lives are usually like this, but I want to be able to get this information now. just so we both, everybody is, on the same page and caught up with everything. So a lot to go through. Sarah, good to see you. Good to see you. So I first want to. I do want to go over this Harvey one. It's one of his theories, quote unquote theories. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, but I don't know. I'm gonna play it and then you guys uh, tell me what you guys think. So I'm gonna play this one and then we'll go into the interviews, okay?
Talk about it. Yeah, I do have something, but I just can't talk about it. There are certain things I'll tell you if I know something, and if I don't, and if I can tell you, I will. But I'm not able to do this story, and it's complicated why. But I just can't say.
Do you know why it's complicated now, or no?
I'm going to give you a guess.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a guess. No matter what happened, and this may not be a homicide, it could be a drug overdose. And I'll give you an example. That was a party house. And the Sunday before the body was found, they had a big party there. I'm not saying that's when this happened, but they had a big party there, and the neighbors were complaining, and we talked to neighbors who were saying they always had parties there. It was a party house. It was really noisy. So she's, this 14-year-old child, and she's in the mix in these parties. So theoretically, there could have been something that happened at a party where she took something she shouldn't have or whatever and died. And then they thought, fuck, what are we going to do with this body? It could have happened without him even being there. So that's a theory, right? My theory has always been that if he did something, whether he did something to her or something happened to her on his watch where he was going to be blamed, it doesn't make sense to me. He's going to put her in his car and park it on Doheny Drive, which is a busy residential street, knowing it's going to get towed. Because I used to live on Doheny Drive, and there are street cleaners that come up, and they ticket your car if it's parked there on street cleaning days, and they will tow it if it's there too long. And anybody who's lived there kind of knows that. And why would he put a body in a car and then go on tour knowing that the car is going to get towed and somebody's going to find the body? So logic tells me he did not put this body in that car.
Yeah.
That's what logic is telling me. Whatever happened before, it makes no sense to me that David put Celeste's body in his car, parked it on Doheny Drive near his house, and then left to go on tour. Makes no sense.
All right, give me 1 second. It's crashing again, but I'll pause it right here for a second. And yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't make sense. Thank you, Native Girl. It doesn't make sense like for Harvey to think this way. It doesn't logically because it doesn't make sense to people who think logically. That's the thing. Like, um, no. So it's you have to think like how the killer might go. Yeah. Well, you have to think how the killer might do things. You have to think how they would do things, not how I would do things or how you would do things. You see what I'm saying? So every time someone says it doesn't make sense that why would he do that? Why would he I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, of course you wouldn't, because you weren't there. You're not the killer. You're not the perpetrator. You're not the suspect. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, it just kicked me out. So let me play it. Let me play it. See, I don't know. There's no sound on it. It's weird. Oh, here we go. Still no sound. Huh. 1 second. Oh, that's probably it. It's probably the probably must have did something to it. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, I mean that's. Oh, here we go. That's why. I, there we go. The video was muted. Let me fast forward it.
Really important. And why did the cops say complicated? Because I don't think
Top of the
David
morning,
put that
Sharon
body
Turner.
in the
Good to see
car, and
you.
they have
Good morning.
video from
Happy
the test
Sunday.
log.
Happy
And
Sunday.
I don't think it shows that. My guess. That is a guess. But that's the only thing that makes
He
sense
had to have
me.
known something. If they
Happy
loved each
Sunday,
other and hadn't
everybody.
heard from
Have a
her in days, he would have been concerned.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I don't know any of that.
What did Harvey mean when he said that TMZ didn't want to get dinged for saying something incorrect? I want him to elaborate.
That I'm not going to guess about what may have happened or what the police are doing unless I know it. You know, that's why there are things I'm not going to say to you, because we've got to vet them. And we go down a lot of dead ends where things end up not being true, and we're not going to put all those things up, because then when something is true, why would you believe it? Plus, it's irresponsible.
It had to be cut up or manipulated somehow, because she was over 5 feet and that frunk is so tiny. No way her body would have fit without being manipulated, just saying.
No, you could put a 5-foot body in the front.
She was a runaway. They always treat runaways and sex workers with no respect or urgency. Law enforcement, I mean.
Not this case. Well, now they're all over this case. They're all over this case. I can tell you that. This is not something they're ignoring. They are focused on this case. But I got to tell you, everybody's assuming it's a homicide. What if it's not? What if it's a drug overdose?
Yeah.
I mean, what if it's a drug overdose? Are you really discounting that?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a party house. She partied there. She was there.
Yeah.
They had a lot of parties.
Well, at least that's the thing he's saying, is that they're all over the case. I mean, if we don't see, sometimes I might have to talk over this. I mean, I haven't been dinged by TMZ, which is good, or any of the news outlets, which is good, because I feel like everything that comes out is important. When he said, okay, they're on it, they're on it, they're on it. I do truly believe that. I do truly want to believe that, because if we don't see, if they're not releasing information, they might be because of a reason, right? Because it's going to interfere with the investigation. It'll be prejudicial. I mean, the lawyer for David is an absolute juggernaut. She is a powerhouse in the Hollywood scene, and I'm sure LAPD knows that. But what Harvey was saying, I mean, there's things that he says that just were rubbing me the wrong way about the house, right? That it's a party house, this or that. Okay, does that mean you kill the person? Does that mean you can't call the police? Right? Let me end this video so that way we can go over it. because I'm gonna have to talk over it. Hopefully, I don't get dinged.
I don't see how you can easily say, oh, it's got to be a homicide.
Okay, that was interesting how he said. I just noticed that what he said right there. That I can't see how you can that it's not a homicide. That's not true unless he has insider information about the toxicology. I mean that's how giddy he was getting. I mean look how giddy he gets in the beginning, right? Look, I mean real quick, I'm just
Talk about it. Yeah,
it's a
I do
trigger
have
warning.
something, but I just can't talk about it. There are certain things I'll tell you if I know something, and if I don't, and if I can tell you, I will. But I'm not able to do this story, and it's complicated. Why? But I just can't say.
Do you know why it's complicated?
Talk about it. Yeah, I do have something, but I just
Yeah, I
can't
mean
talk
look how
about it. There are
giddy he's
certain
getting.
things I'll tell you if I know
And then
something,
he
and if
says, "I'll
I
give you a guess." Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, these guys, they get insider information. They have people inside the police department. They have people in the Hollywood Hills. They can pay people off to like for videos. Like, hey, I'll give you some, this much for this video. They have the money to do that. And so when he got giddy there, I'm like, wait a minute, what does he know something? And that's why he's saying this is a theory. This is my guess that it was it could be an overdose, and it doesn't make sense for him to move the car. So it's just I don't know. It's just kind of weird that yeah, Sharon, right? It's like just the way he was giddy about it. It's like he wants to spill the tea, but he knows his ass is gonna get sued. And so he's cute with his words. Like, let me give you a guess. And so that did rub me the wrong way. Like you're so giddy about something like this. It's like okay, guy. But let me I don't know. I don't. Yeah, that's the thing is like he obviously is saying he can't say it, so he knows something, insider information. So that makes it's like, do they have the toxicology report? Was it an overdose? And why was he saying like, oh, it doesn't make sense for somebody to move the vehicle? Yeah, I get that point where it's like you're not thinking like we are, the perpetrator, the suspect, the killer, etc., etc. But the way he was saying it, I mean, he was really like, even before this came out before SF investigates the video. I'll go into that right now. So yeah, I agree. It's like I mean, it's like this guy knows something. These guys like have insider informations that are coming from the Hollywood Hills, police department, examinators offices, etc., etc. Like it's just it did rub me the wrong way. I do want to mention that. So what I'm gonna do is let's see. Hey Rufio, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Let's see, Sharon. Let me read comments. Sharon says Harvey is backstepping because he is friends with the lawyer. I'm not playing with Harvey Levy. I'm usually okay with Harvey, but he's making my skin itch. Yes, they are investigating. 100%. 100%. I agree with you, Sharon. He is making my skin itch as well. Rufio, again, good to see you. Good to see you. Sakia, hopefully I'm saying that wrong. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. Hey Jen, good to see you. Welcome, welcome everybody. We're just going through some videos. I'm sure everybody's seen them, and we're just gonna go over. We're gonna hang out, pretty chill live, and yeah, drop a comment, drop a theory. This is gonna be we're gonna drop these videos, and then it's gonna be a high opinionated, speculative. Your opinions, your theories, what you think is going on based on the new information that has come out from SF Investigate. Shout out to him. Shout out to was it Sidebar Law and Crime, I believe Sidebar, and we'll have some videos right here. Let me go to this scene right here. So we're gonna go into these videos right now, and I want to show this video. Let's see, of the other house, and it'll make sense in a bit.
As far as getting rid of her, and it's scary. The sadistic stuff.
Big news on the David Celeste Rivas Hernandez case. We now know who the private investigator is that was hired by the Hollywood Hills landlord for the home that David had been staying at, right by where the Tesla was found with Celeste's body inside. Well, we just sat down with this investigator himself, Steve Fisher, about what he has learned so far, what we can expect next. Let me tell you, it is shocking. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. That the Hollywood Hills landlord, the property manager for that property that David, the singer, had been staying at, that property owner, that landlord, had hired a private investigator to look into the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the teen found dismembered in David's abandoned Tesla that was nearby. Well, not only do we know who this private investigator is, but I just interviewed him. Yeah, you're going to see him on this episode. Recording this introduction after I interviewed him, and let me just say, he reveals a lot, okay? A lot. Now, this may not provide all the answers, but I will tell you, if you are listening to what he has to say, you're starting to get a better picture of a lot of things, okay? So this PI himself, Steve Fisher, we'll play that interview in a minute. Now, quick refresher. So police raided this $3.64 million home, which David had reportedly been paying tens of thousands of dollars in rent. We know that Celeste's body was found in the trunk of his impounded Tesla back in September, that the Tesla was near this property. And to be clear, since then, there's been no suspects that have been named, no persons of interest, no arrests. David has canceled his tour. He's moved out of that mansion. He has transferred properties that he owned in Texas to his mother. The whole thing has been a lot of unanswered questions. And that is where this LA landlord, apologies if I'm mispronouncing the name here, Malden Truvanovich, stepped in. He wasn't content to sit back and just wait for the LAPD, so he brought in his own private investigator to start digging, to get some more answers. We've talked about that in a previous episode, but now we actually know who that investigator is, Steve Fisher. I'm going to play you that interview. It is something, but let me just say real quick, pin down exactly what this case is about. This all started on September 8th when LAPD officers were called to a tow yard on Mansfield Avenue in Hollywood after workers noticed this foul odor coming from a Tesla that had been sitting there. That car was registered to 20-year-old singer David, real name David Anthony Burke, the Houston-born artist behind the hit Romantic Homicide. That Tesla had been abandoned near the Hollywood Hills rental property, towed away, and was just sitting there. And when officers opened the front trunk, they found something horrific. Human remains wrapped in plastic. And a few days later, it was confirmed that that body belonged to 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a teen runaway who had been missing from Lake Elsinore since April of 2024. Her remains were decomposed, suggesting that she had been in that car for weeks. The cause of death is still officially deferred. Now, while David is not being considered at this point officially as a suspect or even a person of interest, the internet started connecting the dots, or seemingly connecting alleged dots, between David and Celeste. Screenshots from Discord chats, live stream clips, old photos started circulating, all suggesting that they had been in contact. Maybe they were even in some kind of relationship. TMZ had reported those that were close to David thought that Celeste was 19 years old, that maybe there was a relationship going on, and fans have pointed out that both she and David had that same small tattoo on their fingers. And if that wasn't eerie enough, David has this unreleased song with Celeste in the title. That's been reported. Everything has unraveled for David since the discovery. There's been a canceled tour date, pause on promotions for his upcoming album, drop brand deals. And while all of this is happening, David has been making some major legal and financial moves. He's retained Blair Burke, the powerhouse Hollywood defense attorney who's represented people like Harvey Weinstein. David transferred the deeds to 2 Texas properties to his mother right after one of those houses was apparently swatted, this false reporting of a shooting and a dead body there. But now let's get to it. Okay, let's circle back to that Hollywood Hills rental property, how a private investigator, a PI, even got involved in this case. So according to LA Magazine, police had executed a search warrant on that property back on September 17th. So since David had been renting it for reportedly about $20,000 a month, a home that was owned by a man named Malden Trifonich. And officers reportedly collected electronics, computers. They searched the drains for traces of blood or tissue. At least that's the reporting from TMZ. Can't officially confirm that. But this homeowner had said that after he'd heard almost nothing from the LAPD about what they found, he was frustrated. And that is when he made his move and hired his own PI. He told TMZ and the Daily Mail that his family wanted answers about what might have happened in or around this home, and that he wasn't trying to interfere with the police investigation. He just didn't want to be left in the dark about what connections, if any, his property could have to all this. And TMZ reports that the LAPD has since seized surveillance footage from the same home, cameras that could show exactly who entered or exited the property. Now, this homeowner reportedly told the outlet that he hasn't even seen the footage himself out of respect for his tenant's privacy. He also claims the police still haven't given him a copy of the warrant or told him exactly what they took. So the big question now is what exactly happened in or around that home, right? And whether the private investigator hired by this landlord, this property owner, has found anything that could shed light on that timeline. And that is where we're heading next, okay? Just one more thing before we get to him, something that we've learned. LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman spoke out, confirmed the case is still under investigation. No case has been presented to his office yet. We're going to get into that a little bit. But now I want to bring on our special guest. I'm joined by private investigator Steve Fisher, who was hired by David's former landlord. Really appreciate you taking the time here to talk about this. First off, Steve, how were you hired? How were you retained in this matter?
So originally, when the body was originally found, I had another missing persons case going in LA of a female, and we thought that that could be that individual. And so I kind of stayed with the case for a little while until she was identified, and we knew it wasn't. And I had, discovered some other things, such as when the car was towed and the photos from it being towed and whatnot. And, the owner had gotten in touch with me of the house, and I shared some things with him, and it just kind of evolved from there. But one thing, I would say is he is the owner of the house. He wasn't David's landlord. David wasn't even on the lease, and the owner never even knew that David was in the house. It was actually Josh Marshall, his manager, who had leased the house.
But to be clear, David was living there, right?
Yes, he was definitely staying there. It just was not known to the owner.
Right. Okay. And by the way, I understand this is, an active investigation. There might be limited what you can share. But what exactly is he looking for in this? What exactly is this property owner? What kind of answers is he looking for?
So where really kind of evolved from was the search warrant was served, I believe, on the 17th or 18th. And it was a forced entry search warrant, meaning that nobody was home at the time. And they did not leave a copy of the warrant or of the return, the inventory list of the items that they took from the house. And it was really kind of born out of that. I was not officially retained at that time, but I helped him try to obtain that. And we told robbery homicide, hey, listen, no warrant was left behind. David was out on tour. Josh Marshall lives out of state, we found out. So the owner had his representative go to the house immediately after he found out about this. And there was no warrant, no return. So he really just wants to understand what of his property could have been taken and what the status of that is. And then also, this is troublesome when you learn something like this. All of a sudden you're thrown into this, and he feels absolutely horrible for Celeste's family. And he's like, if there's anything that involves, in and around my house that could help, then I want to discover that. And I'll tell you that there have been things that we've learned and we've turned right over to LAPD, but we think there's significant, things that could help.
Do you mean that there might be evidence that a crime was committed at that house?
Not so much a crime, no. And I'll just be honest with you. We don't have any evidence that anything happened to Celeste at that house, but there is definitely evidence that we've collected that helps the timeline. We now have a much better understanding of when that Tesla arrived at that final parking spot. I'll tell you, I do have surveillance from different houses in the neighborhood showing Tesla being moved. So things like that, and I'm not even saying that LAPD didn't have that. I'm sure they did, but we wanted to make sure, and we did some work and on the upresing the footage to find out who was driving the vehicle. And there are some other items that were found at the house that weren't taken during the search warrant. And search warrants are limited, right? They can't just go take everything. It's what the judge, and we don't know how broad that search warrant was because we haven't seen it, and that's what we'd like to see. But there were some things that were not taken into custody of LAPD that we think are significant, and including digital media and some other things that really help nail down timeline and things like that.
You handed that over to LAPD. There's other.
We have literally the day that we the things that we've recovered, we've given to LAPD within 24 hours.
Do you know who was driving that car, that Tesla? You don't have to tell me, but do you know the identity?
Yeah, as far as going to the final, what we believe is the final parking spot where it was towed from, yes.
And that information's been communicated to law enforcement.
So it's been given to law enforcement. They're not going to tell us if they're confirming if that's a person or not. Robbery, homicide, the way they work is we'll take your information. We're not going to speak on it, so I don't know. But listen, it's very clear that that neighborhood is filled with surveillance cameras, and the timelines, once we learn those dates and we can see other things that were happening that were even public on Instagram and whatnot, were going on in those people's lives, it makes a lot of sense.
So let me ask you this. If you see when the car was parked there, have you seen anything to indicate that Celeste's body was transferred into that car after the car was parked there? Or in other words, do you believe that her body was in that car the minute it was parked in the location it was ultimately towed from?
So I'll say I have no evidence of a body being transferred before or after. There's no evidence of that at all. But I will say, when it was moved to that position, it was already like that. So that car had not been used in a very long time. It was like that. So that car had not been used in a very long time. It was super dirty, caked on dirt. I'll tell you, this was in late July. So it's bizarre because we also got media that the car was used a lot. David even spoke about it in Instagram videos. He took it to a detail shop and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, the very beginning of the year, that car, something happens, and that car's doesn't show up anymore. It's not used. It seems to disappear. And then that red Tesla learned, which we didn't know until the search warrant was served, that there's a red Tesla in the garage, which I can tell you was at least on February 1st.
Yeah, let me just narrow down here. Do you have the precise date of when that car, the one with the Tesla, with Celeste's body inside, when it was left there? Do you know the specific date of when it was left in Hollywood Hills?
I believe so. I believe it. Late July, very late July.
So one thing that we've heard, and this is something we've talked about, is the LAPD has seized footage from the rental property, multiple security cameras around the property. There are even reports of a smashed Ring camera on the ground. Yeah. And according to TMZ, police seized all the footage from multiple security cameras at the house last month when they executed the search warrant. TMZ described that footage as a, quote, potential gold mine for investigators. And the question becomes, did you see anyone coming into or leaving that property after the Tesla was there? So after the Tesla with Celeste's body inside is there, can you tell us you saw people coming in and out of that property before the, let's say this, before the search warrant?
No, not from the time that the Tesla was left. So from the time the Tesla was left there, he literally immediately started the tour. There was a tour bus that was leased, and I'll tell you that Tesla was moved and literally a bus departed for tour.
Okay. You talked about things that might have been taken from the house, things that you handed over to LAPD. Is there anything you can share with us about what that information may be?
One thing that you just brought up, and I guess which TMZ reported on, the security system. The house has got a very sophisticated security system, not just with cameras, but with sensors and all types of things. It all records to a DVR. And for privacy reasons, the owner, when he leased the house, said, this is the system that's in the house and you can use whatever functions you want on it. That's not something that then the owner could access. So we don't know if the cameras were enabled or not enabled. But if they were, it wouldn't just be cameras. It would be, we'd know anytime anybody came and went from the house, anytime anybody opened a window, everything, if they kept it like it was. But we don't know. LAPD came in and took that whole DVR. They took the entire system, which you would expect. And I've talked to the security company that installed the system, and they've told me, how it was set up. We think it was probably running because there's limited alerts that the security guy can see, which is stuff like if there's a major failure. And there was a low power failure warning that triggered right when they were executing the search warrant. And we think that's when they unplugged the system. So there's reason to believe that the system was running. Whether the cameras were covered or not, I don't know. I can tell you that some of the smoke sensors in the house were covered, and that's probably because maybe I don't know what they were doing in the house. So the cameras might have been covered as well. During
the course of your investigation so far, have you learned more information about Celeste and David, perhaps their connection, anything we should be thinking about that hasn't been publicly reported? Is your investigation also into them as well?
Sure. Yeah. And one of the reasons that we've kind of come public with what I'm doing is because, I have a little bit different method of working age, and especially the younger generation, when they're on places like Discord and you don't even know their real identities. I've put myself out there, and those people do come to me, and a tremendous amount of people have come to me, and I've learned a lot. Now, listen, a lot of it's circumstantial, right? But there are people that are directly in his orbit, and there are people that have photos and videos, and we've gotten a lot of photos and videos from inside the home itself. So we can put people at certain dates and times at the house, and there's a lot of them. It's in the thousands.
Do you know if Celeste was ever at that property?
So, what we recovered, we don't have any of her at that property. We have pictures of her and that were taken by David, we assume, because it's not on a camera phone, but these photos are on a regular camera at different locations. And it really makes me think that it's likely she had another place she was staying. I can tell you that there was a lot of time spent towards downtown LA. And I'll say the last photo that we have of Celeste is January 2nd, 2025.
Okay, now that's significant because we were wondering when, she was last seen alive. There was that surveillance footage of her seemingly running away from her neighborhood.
And that was September of 24, I believe. So we didn't have anything. We were like, where was this girl in 2025? But we do have a photo of her on July 2nd, early in the morning, July 2nd, 2025.
Has anyone, and just to be clear, you don't know more information about when she died, right?
No, okay. I don't have any information of how she died or when exactly she died. Investigations are always moving, and right now I tend to believe it happened a long time ago. And I think January, February, things changed. I mean, you can see it in the photos and everything. And I also think when I first started looking at this case, I'm very much an Occam's razor type person where I think things are a lot easier than people try to make them sometimes, especially online, into these big things. And I thought this was going to be a tragic overdose, which it very well still could be. And they made a bad decision because they didn't want to expose a potential relationship and put her in this Tesla. And then maybe he thought he could get somebody to get rid of that car. And they were just like, no, I'm not doing it, and just got left there. But I will say this, there are some things that, and I'm talking physical evidence that was at that house that is, there could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her. And it's scary, sadistic stuff. And that's why I wish I could say more, but for obvious reasons I can't. But it doesn't have to do with how she died, but maybe how they were planning on ultimately getting rid of her, and how maybe that Tesla was just a holding spot at the time, and things just, their timing was just off as far as getting this done. But there's a few things that were just like, will blow your mind.
Has anyone from David's team, management, legal, anybody reached out to you or your client?
I know that my client's been in touch with his manager, but only for the purpose of the lease, because they did ask to terminate the lease. And I believe the other manager that technically was the owner of the red Tesla, I think was in touch with him just because they needed access to the house to get that vehicle and stuff out. Because that's another thing that I think could be key in this, is that there's only one key to that house, and who had that and who had access to it and who was in it. Because we also have evidence that while David was on tour at the time between the Tesla being found and the search warrant being served, David was on tour, but somebody was in that house. And there was actually a report made, not with police, but that homeowner association has a robust private security company, and we've gotten videos from them and reports. And so who had that key is probably the same person that, had access to the Tesla.
Do you know who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say I don't know who exactly was in that house, because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her body? I don't know.
Now, we heard this week from LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman, and he actually addressed this case directly when a TMZ reporter caught up with him outside the DA's office. And regarding the status of the case, he said, quote, "It is currently under investigation. We don't discuss suspects or the points in a continuing investigation. When and if that case is presented to the DA's office and we make a decision on it, I'll make sure you're one of the first to know. A case has not been presented to our office for filing consideration." And just to underline that, a spokesperson for the DA's office confirmed to Complex that, no case has been presented for filing consideration. The LAPD also told the outlet that the county medical examiner still hasn't determined a cause or manner of death, saying, quote, "It remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body." Now, Steve, you just told us a lot of information here. Are you surprised that we don't have a confirmed suspect from law enforcement or a person of interest, or even an arrest at this point? Or can you say, from what you're seeing, that makes sense, but Jesse, maybe being on the lookout for something soon?
Yeah, I would say, Jesse, that makes sense, but maybe be on the lookout for something soon. I've seen this in a lot of cases. It tells me, listen, I don't have any inside information on this. I'm just saying, from my opinion, that this means that during the examination, the autopsy examination, there was nothing very obvious, such as a crushed skull, any bullet holes, anything like that. So they're waiting on toxicology to come back to make that final determination. Now, is the medical examiner in contact with the detectives in between this time? Are they? Absolutely. Do they have a preliminary determination? I'm sure they do. I think the DA's office is working side by side with the detectives and telling them, this is what we need for these charges. This is what we would need for these charges. Can you get it or not get it? Listen, a crime 100% happened here. At minimum, it's the concealment of a body, right? So we know somebody did that. Hopefully it's not, a mutilation. Hopefully those initial reports were wrong about her being dismembered. But one thing I have to say, even though I talked about how we found some things that could have meant they had a really twisted plan in place to get rid of her, it never went in motion. So you can't charge somebody for a crime that they may have thought about doing. So, we may never know more about that.
So, Steve, before I let you go, do you have any indication about where David is right now?
I don't. I have no idea. And it's kind of bizarre because his group has stayed so silent. What's left of his group, I guess. And I'm not even sure the conversations that the owner did have with his management in breaking that lease. I'm not even 100% sure his management knows at this time where he's at. I think his attorney might be the only one, and his parents.
Steve Fisher, really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much for providing a little bit more insight into what's going on right now.
Thanks for having me on.
And that is all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so
Dang, a lot of information. A lot of information. Dang, that was heavy. That was heavy. So he's saying at the end of that interview that there was items that looked like they were sadistic in nature, and that it looked like whoever was in the home was going to use those items, those tools, items, to try and get rid of the body. But he said it was very sadistic stuff, very like disturbing stuff. I mean, that speaks volumes to the type of person we're dealing with. And to try to get rid of a body, I mean, jeez, man, that was heavy. Um, yeah, that is some heavy stuff. And he was saying, "Hey, Kelly, good to see you." And that's the thing too. It's he's saying that there was somebody in the home while David was on tour. That threw me off. I mean, it didn't throw me off, but it was more. I mean, yeah, it did, but it was more of. Geez, man, it was more of what is going on? Is there a conspiracy going on? More than one person that is trying to get rid of the body. I mean, if David's not there and this guy's taking care of the body, what's going on, right? Is there more than one person? Is he protecting David? I mean, just the walls are just closing in. The walls are closing in. And as we heard from, I mean, shout out to Jesse, shout out to Sidebar and SF Investigates. I mean, this is huge, this information. And also that there was only one key is a big thing. Sharon says, yeah, I don't think she was killed at the house, or she died at the house. It doesn't seem like she was, because I don't know, it's weird, right? Because they SF Investigates was in the house with the homeowner and was saying that there was no indication that a crime had occurred there. So that's interesting. But then if you choke somebody, there's not going to be much evidence, right? It's things like that. It's just a lot of unknowns. And the thing is, if law enforcement is working hand in hand, which I'm sure they are with the DA and the medical examiner, and as SF Investigates was saying, like, man, they are on it. And same with Harvey. I know he rubs me the wrong way. I know he rubs people the wrong way. What I was listening to was he saying that they are on this case, and I truly believe that. I truly do believe that they are getting their ducks in a row to present it to the DA, because they are up against the DA is up against a powerhouse. We've seen that. This lady is no joke. She's the top of the top when it comes to lawyers. The best money could buy. And it does, yeah, it just seems like they're just getting their ducks in a row. And but that was surprising that they saw somebody in the house even after when David was on tour. I mean, there's just so much to unpack here. I mean, there's just so much information that came out. And I wanted to play it in its entirety. I didn't want to comment on it because I mean, you have to really pay attention to what is said. And if I get dinged, I get dinged. No big deal. It's just the information that needs to get out. The way he was saying it, I didn't want to interrupt. Um, Man, yeah, it's some heavy stuff. The sadistic stuff was pretty disturbing. Um, Scratch that paint. How you doing? She said it had to be more than one person. Could be, could be. It sounds like it's. I mean, if David is on tour and there's somebody at his house, that could be telling. Is that the same person that moved the Tesla, or was it David? And if that person moved the Tesla, the one that's in the home while David is on tour, is he the one cleaning things up? Is he the one? You know what I'm saying? Is he the one, the cleanup guy? The I'll take care of everything. Don't trip. Delete cameras. Delete evidence. Go do your thing. Go make the money. Could be. For what it sounds like there was somebody at the house, even when David was on tour. I mean, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. But that's what I heard. That's what I've heard. And there was only one key. And as we've seen my previous videos, the walk from where it was parked, the Tesla, to David's home, is under a 3-minute walk. Under a 3-minute walk. When or where the body was put in the body was put in there, in the front trunk of the Tesla, of David's Tesla, 100%. That's a fact, 100%. Who and where is going to be huge. And he was saying SF investigates throughout the interview. And again, shout out to Sidebar, shout out to SF investigates and Long Crime and Jesse for this interview, because it's huge. I mean, we haven't had any real updates on this, and this just revamped it, because we're not going to forget. Celeste Rivas needs justice, and she needs justice for the right people to come to justice. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or about it. You just can't. That can't happen where somebody, a 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, is in the front trunk and it goes away. No, it's not going to go away. The public's not going to allow that. Somebody needs to pay for what they did, and how, at minimum, what SF investigates was saying, at minimum, moving the corpse. I mean, that's just the bare minimum, and that's huge too. I mean, that's not an easy charge. I mean, what about the minor, harboring of minor, kidnapping? I mean, we'll go into another video too. I mean, there's just so much that this guy, whoever it might be, guy or girl, whoever, we don't know, right? We have an idea. I mean, come on. And that there's just a list of charges that they can bring down on them. Let me read comments. Hey, Cindy from sunny South Florida. Good to see you. Let me read some comments. Yeah, this is going to be very high theories. Throwing your theories, throwing your opinions, throwing what you think, because it seems like the walls are closing in on this case. A lot of stuff going behind the scenes. Law enforcement putting in the time, putting in the effort. I'm being very optimistic with law enforcement. Very optimistic. Sharon says, wait, he said there was some sadistic thought about what to do with her body after death. Yes, to try to get rid of it, from what he was saying. Meaning, I want to, could he have been saying that they wanted to chop up the body so that they can dispose of it easier? We've seen that in many cases. We've seen that. That's nothing out of the norm. That's nothing out of the extraordinary. Why they didn't do it? Maybe out of time, out of fear, out of whatever it may be. And they just said, I'm out of here. It could be. I'm not sure. The other thing too. Let me read comments. Yeah, that part, the sadistic part, oof, that was heavy. Gold Digger says cameras all through the neighborhood. People who live in the area have cameras as well. Makes sense. There would be footage somewhere. Yeah, absolutely. And I walked those Hollywood Hills. I mean, it looks like the Truman Show. It really does. It looks like there's cameras after camera after camera, Ring doorbell cameras, and those are only the cameras that are visible. What about the cameras that are, hidden, or it's a rock? You ever see those rock cameras, or up in the tree? What about those cameras too? That place is filled with cameras. You can't walk 2 steps with a camera being in your face. Where David lives, in that neighborhood, I walked it. There's videos on my page you can look at. I do think I loaded them up, but if not, then I'll load them up later. But there's just cameras everywhere, and that makes sense that SF Investigates is helping out the homeowner. I mean, I applaud that, because LAPD said that they didn't, or the homeowner said that LAPD did not contact him. I mean, how weird is that? You're not gonna talk to the homeowner? Excuse me. I mean, you're not gonna talk to the homeowner. How weird is that? He's the homeowner. He has access to the property. He knows the property. He knows the ins and outs of the property. He knows where things are. He knows the crawl spaces. He knows if there's a basement or not. It's just an example. Uh, I mean, full of information. Why wouldn't the LAPD talk to him? And I think that's why he did this. He hired a private investigator, SF Investigates, because he wasn't getting any answers from the homeowner. I would. If I had the money like that, yeah, for sure. Absolutely, 100%. And law enforcement's not telling what the heck happened in my own home? Absolutely. You better believe that. Let's see. Native Girl, the term sadistic to me implies something done to a person alive. That's true. Like, right? With, I don't know. Yeah. If they did, if they were planning to do it when she was alive, got cold feet, and then didn't do it, that's one of the things that I was thinking too is when were you thinking about using these sadistic tools on Celeste or on anybody else? And have you used those tools before? Pretty heavy stuff there. Jen, how you doing? If Celeste was staying elsewhere, I'm curious who looked over her, if not David. That's a good, very good question. I'm gonna go over another video, and we'll go over the other property. I went down a freaking rabbit hole and found out the other property. I mean, it's online. You'll see it everywhere. You'll start to see it soon. You'll start to see it in the mainstream media. But online sleuths are on it. Sharon is saying if there was only one key, who had the key? I mean, who had the one key to get in and out of the building, out of the house, out of the home? And then if there's only one building, that eliminates everybody else because there's only one key. I mean, this case is going to be put up in a silver platter to the DA, and it's, I get it. They're putting everything in order as they should. So once they present it, I feel like there's going to be more than enough evidence. Again, I'm being optimistic. Maybe I'm being naive. I don't know. I want to think that when they present it to the DA, I mean, the DA is going to be like, look, give me this, give me that. I'm going up against this freaking high-powered attorney. Give me all the evidence. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, please. Helps out the algorithm, for sure. The algorithm. Scratch that pain. Jennifer Coffindagger Burger. I hope I'm saying that right. Had an interesting show about it yesterday. Oh, right on, right on. Usually we don't talk about other creators, but that one I did talk about her, and we've had her pictures up and stuff like that, so she's okay. She's cool. She's a former FBI. No big deal. Let's see, Kelly. Maybe David did the act, and one of his friends helped to try to cover it up for David. Could be. That is one scenario that could be. It's if he did it or his friends did it or if it was an overdose. That's the thing. It's like, okay, accidents happen. You're partying, you overdose. Why not call the police? So that tells me that you knew she was underage. No, you're good. Stretch that pain. No, you're good. I was just, as I was saying, I was trying to think who that is. I'm like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? And I thought it was just some creator, but then I realized it was her. I'm like, oh no, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. No worries. And let's see. So that's the thing. It's like, why not if she overdosed? That to me is telling because you know that she's a minor. You know she was a minor. Let's see, Sharon's Josh is the actual signed rentee with the actual key. Sharon, if I'm renting the Airbnb, I have the key, and my sister wants to go back to the house because we were at Disney. I leave the key under the mat. Absolutely, absolutely. Gold Digger, yes, you sure did, Mark. You showed us that about the cameras. 100%, 100%, Gold Digger. Thank you so much for just being interactive and looking, seeing where all the cameras are, because when I'm walking there, I'm trying to emphasize all the cameras that are there, and I mean, it is amazing How many cameras are there? Cindy from Sunny South Florida, right? There may be other cameras that are camouflaged. Absolutely, absolutely. And not only that, there's big cameras from the city up there too. If you're doing your rounds up there, as I was the other night, the night that I was there, and then I went again during the day, and there was cameras from the city, huge ones. I mean, they look like helmets. Scratch that pin. We're all saying overdose. So what? So that's what I think. Yeah, they're all kind of putting that out, and that's the other thing too. It's like, are they writing the narrative already, or are they hinting at something as like, okay, overdose, overdose, overdose? I mean, these guys, SF investigates, Harvey from the TMZ show, those people that are lawyers, they have inside information or enough information to where they can take a very good educated guess. And some of the things are 50-50, right? Whether she's been dismembered or not, if it was just because of the what is it, the time her body was there, things like that, things of that nature. I mean, there's things that are 50-50, there's things that are we don't know, obviously, like who the person is. SF investigates knows. And a lot of these people, the David and his crew, they hang out. I mean, they have a certain style. If you see how they dress, they have a certain swag. They have a certain style to them. So if you see David in a video and then you see David at the house, it's his house. He's there. He's renting it. You know, I know Josh is the one that's renting it, but he's 20 years old. I'm sure he's not going to be able to get approved for a Hollywood Hills um, mansion, or house, home, 4.1 million home, to be approved because he's only 20 years old and he doesn't have good credit, or credit history, I should say. Sorry about that, credit history. Let's see. Sharon says Josh was the first one that jumped up out of nowhere. I had nothing to do with this. I don't live there. He was so adamant about getting back to his family, having a hard time with this. Well, that's the thing too. It's like if he's there and he's at the house, I mean, the more you stay at a crime scene, the more you're effed. The more you stay at a crime scene, we've seen that with other crime scenes where they just stick around, they try to clean it up, they try to do this, the more you're effed. So that's very interesting. And yeah, he did come out. I broke that news. I think it was me and this other uh, person that broke the news like right away for that, because everybody wanted to hear from him. And it was from LA Magazine. Actually, they broke the news, I should say, not me. They did. I mean, LA has some really good journalists. Really good journalists. Let's see. Hey, Stoke Dissension, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Just catching up on chat, and then we'll go to the next video, which is, I mean, it gets crazier and crazier. And I have pictures too. Sharon says, but what was crazy is you claimed to not really deal with this client, and this client was at your wedding. Josh, there are pics of this. So you know David well. If not, why would you have him at your wedding? Yeah, I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to distance himself from David, even though he has been on his wedding, right? Say I know you, and I'm just using it as an example, Sharon. Like you kill somebody, I'm like, hey, I'm distancing myself because I don't want to, even though I've been to your wedding and stuff like that. That's happened. And I'm sure he's been talked to. But we'll see. We'll see. The investigation is still ongoing. Gold Digger, this is still under full investigation. Oh, that's funny. You just said that, and I was thinking that. But they have cleared David as a suspect, so none of their evidence leads to him. Just asking. I haven't seen where law enforcement is saying that well, let me see. The thing is with police is that they will say everybody's a person of interest. That's what I've seen that time and time again. I think that's a little bit of wordplay. Suspect, person of interest, and without them, what they could be doing too is they don't want to spook the person too. I've seen that too in some cases where they don't want to spook the suspect. They don't want him to run. He has the funds, he has the money, and I'm sure he has the connections to just leave and take off and nobody will find him. So I'm sure that they're not trying to scare him away. Maybe, or like you're saying, Gold Digger, maybe the it's not leading up to his the investigation may not be leading to his direction. And that's the thing, we just don't know right now. Sharon Turn, I don't trust if his client did something. He had to help clean it up so fast because he has the record label on his ass. Yeah, straight up clean up, fix it, orders, take care of it. I could see something like that. Like, hey, take care of this. Don't worry. Go to your tour. Don't even think about it. I'll take care of this. You guys had a party. You guys had a this. You guys had a that. I'll take care of it. Kelly says, I don't think it's an OD. Scratch that paint. When they took the red Tesla out, they had a mask on. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah, I think we might hear more about the red Tesla. That's interesting. They had a mask on. That's interesting. Good observation. Hey, Dover. I think that's how you say it. Justice for Celeste, 100%. Nick says, landlords have keys as well, and I'm just repeating vanilla PI. Said something guilty people hired PI to see what police have. I'm not saying but how many M homes get a PI and not withstanding for police? Nick said, what another PI said, have on them and not waiting for police. Yeah, let's see. That's the thing. There's so many unknowns, but it looks like, I mean, if FS Investigates, the one that is hired by the homeowner, is getting his hands on this information, right? You better believe that law enforcement have that and more, because they took the DVR and excuse me. Let me grab some water. 1 second. Yeah, and that DVR, I mean, that has tons and tons of. I mean, those DVRs you could. I've seen some hold up to like 3, 4, 5, 6 terabytes of video. I mean, that's those DVRs hold a ton of information, a ton, terabytes of video and pictures. And they were saying also that the house also has sensors when the door's open, when the windows are open, if the window is open, if the door is open, if the garage is open. I mean, imagine, I mean, you're just getting handed this information on a silver platter. But the thing is, here's the thing is, where was that footage deleted? But even then, as I'm thinking about this, that footage can be extracted. I mean, they have people that do that. That's all they do is extract information from deleted files. Let's see, catch up on chat. Nick, what another PI I have on them? Okay, I read that one. Yeah, scratch that paint too. That's what I got from that, is that they have cameras on the inside. And that's the other thing. And he was saying, were they covered or not? He doesn't know. But there was the the smoke alarm was covered. And to me, I mean, that's obvious. You're smoking in there to cover that up. I mean, it's pretty obvious why you would cover a smoke detector, because it's for smoke. Gold Digger. Yep, a play on words, Mark. I thought that as well. Maybe give him the thought he's cleared and watch how he moves after. And we see his movement transfer assets to his mother. Exactly. Exactly. So it could go either way. It could go either way. They could be doing that, or they know something we don't, right? Or if here's the other thing too, as I'm thinking about that, he could be cooperating with law enforcement in the sense of he knows who moved the vehicle. He knows who was in his house. But then if that's the case, how much role did David play in that scenario, in that theory? That's one to think about too. Let's see. Nick says, all the PI was saying is that the landlord is upset because they didn't have the copy and search warrant. Does that make sense? Sharon, maybe they are also saying that to wait and see the person makes a mistake. Yeah, we've seen that a lot. They just, at the beginning, it's like we don't have enough information to hold somebody. I mean, are you going to go through thousands and thousands of pictures and video in 72 hours? You can only hold them for 72 hours. I don't think so. So the LAPD, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is working behind the scenes with resources, people, and connections, and working hand in hand with the DA, working hand in hand with the medical examiner, and we'll see. But I mean, I'm very hopeful, and I think the reason that they don't want to leak anything is because they don't want this case to be prejudicial and be moved somewhere else. I mean, it might be moved if it goes to trial. We'll see. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm getting way too ahead of myself. But if it does, I will be there. Count on that. Let's move on to the other video, Ashley Banfield, which was another good video. There's some more information on there. It's a shorter video, so I'll play that right now. And here we go.
You have been following the story of David, the up-and-coming R&B singer, whose 14-year-old underage girlfriend, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, was found dead inside the trunk of his Tesla. You've probably noticed something. It's been quiet, like way too quiet. For weeks now, we have not heard a word from the police. No new statements, no new developments, not even a peep from David himself or his powerhouse attorney Blair Burke, who represents everyone from Harvey Weinstein to Kanye West. But that silence just broke. Because tonight, we are learning about brand new surveillance footage that could completely change this case. It captures the Tesla, David's Tesla, being driven for the last time before it was dumped on that Hollywood Hills street, the same street where it sat baking in the sun for weeks, with Celeste's body decomposing inside. And that footage? It did not come from the LAPD. It came from a private investigator who's been quietly working behind the scenes. Earlier today on my News Nation show, Banfield, shout out News Nation, I'm on Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock at night Eastern, I had a chance to talk to that private investigator. His name is Steve Fisher, and he told me what he found. He told me where he found it, and he told me why he thinks this surveillance video is the biggest break yet in the case. I'm going to play you our full conversation in just a second, but first, back to the case. I had a conversation with a private investigator who got his hands on some pretty jarring video of the singer David's Tesla as it's driving away from his mansion, and it ends up in a place where it was abandoned. And guess what? The window was partly down. And so, yeah, the person driving was visible. Here's my conversation with Steve Fisher. Take a listen. How certain are you that this video of the car driving away from David's mansion is the last time it drove and ended up at the spot where it was abandoned, likely with that body inside?
I'm certain. Listen, I can't say 100% because there's not a camera trained on that Tesla once it's parked. Continuously that I've seen. I mean, there likely is a camera, but I've seen the car driven to that spot, and with the dates, with the date that it was, they left town right after that. I'm certain that is the last time the car was driven. It was put there with her, in the front trunk.
And there's one weird detail about what you could, well, there's a lot of weird details, and I'm going to get to what you saw through the driver's side window in a second, but there was an air freshener that was found in the car at this point that we see on our screen, where it was abandoned. Was that air freshener also hanging from the rear view mirror when it drove off from David's house?
It wasn't, but the window was half to 3/4 of the way down, which is odd because it was a very short drive, and also at that on that day, this is the very end of July 29th. it was like 78 degrees at that time in the morning, or 77 degrees. And if it was on the street where the house is, so it's shaded by the house. So, if you're going, I don't know why the window would be rolled down unless there's something, offensive there. And then all of a sudden, one of the first things I picked up on when the news first broke about the her being found in there, where they were towing the car away from the impound lot to LAPD, was why on a $104,000 car is there a Christmas tree air freshener hanging from the from the mirror? It seemed kind of odd to me, but I guess maybe they thought that would help, mask it for when they had to move the car again.
If there was that smell at that time, because again, we have no idea when Celeste started decomposing in that trunk. We don't know if she'd been decomposing in the trunk for a long time before it ended up being, the car ended up being abandoned. But talk to me about the date of this video, July 29th, and talk to me about what you saw. What did you see in terms of the identity of the person driving through that open window?
So it's very clearly that Tesla, one, because the Tesla has that tape on the rear spoiler for whatever reason. I don't know why it's there. And also, it was just like it is in that picture. It was that dirty, except you could tell that they had run the windshield wiper like once to clear the dirt away so they could see. And it comes very close to the camera, although there is some motion blur, but you can see the person and you can see what they're wearing, something pretty distinctive. And there's photos that I have from 12 hours earlier, a person at the house wearing the same thing.
And I know that the viewers right now are screaming at the TV set saying, Ashley, ask him who it was.
I mean, I honestly wish I could tell you. I don't want to, I don't want to interfere with LAPD on that. And I think that's coming because we know a crime was committed 100%. Somebody concealed her body. And, hey, maybe the reason I don't want to say the person's name is because maybe this person was just someone that was asked to move the car, and didn't know. I find that very hard to believe. And I doubt that's the case. But just in case, I'd rather LAPD make that announcement.
Well, and it's important for us to tell viewers as well that you turned all this material over to them. You're the one who found it. You're the one who took it to them. You're the one who said, and I connected it to the photos from just 12 hours earlier, and here's the clothing. It looks like this could be an ID. July 29th, important because that was the last day that David was in Los Angeles, right? But before he went off on his tour. So he was there in Los Angeles on that day that drive happened.
Yeah, I've seen on one of his public social medias, he had put a video out where it was the first day on their new tour bus because they were going to San Francisco, I believe, for the first night of the concert series. And they did a video from inside the tour bus. So I believe hours after that car was moved, they actually got on the tour bus and headed to San Fran.
Let me ask you this, and I only have a couple seconds left, but you found some other suspicious things. The landlord, as you know, we obviously know now, allowed you into the house, and you saw some things in there that were very uncomfortable and very suspicious. I know you can't say certain things, but what can you tell us about what you saw inside the house?
Well, and this is the landlord found it also, but there were some things in there that were hard to think about because these would be items that would be used if you wanted to get rid of a body. And there's really no other purpose for them at a house like this or anything. And they're expensive items. And so they weren't jokes, but they weren't used. I'll tell you that they were still in the box. So I don't know how much we'll find out about that in the future because you can't charge somebody for thinking about doing something. But I think they had a plan.
But it's important to know, because the first thing I said when I learned of that was that, well, that can't be possible because the LAPD raided the place and took everything. But you know for a fact that they photographed those things, and they're huge and heavy and expensive, and so they have ample information and photographic evidence of those things.
They said that we inquired about this, and they said that they photographed it. I don't know why they didn't take it. There's two items. I don't know why they didn't take them, but they said they photographed them.
So tonight we know this much. Somebody parked that Tesla where it was abandoned, and that somebody walked away. And somebody somewhere knows exactly what happened to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The question now is, whether investigators will make that name public or if there's going to be an arrest soon. Either way, we're not done, because this story and Celeste deserve answers and justice. I'm Ashley Banfield, and as always, thank you so much for listening.
Freaking wild. In arrest or public. 100%. 100%. Answers in justice. Answers in justice. Number one. Let me go off script for a little bit. Let me go off script for a second, okay? You, you're a piece of shit if you're gonna leave somebody in the front trunk of your Tesla and not call the police and not get them help even before that, okay? I mean that just shows your character, what type of person you are, and what type of just human you are. OD or not, OD or not, killing her or not. That shows me that you're a piece of shit for doing that, whoever it may be. So I just want to say that. I want to make that very clear. Let me say hi to everybody, or that's coming in late, or not late, but on time for yourself. Venus, good to see you. Good to see you. Kalisa, good to see you. If I miss you, raise your hand and I'll say hi. So, yeah, they did miss. I mean, that one, it's saying 12 hours. I just caught that. That the same person that moved the Tesla was seen inside the home 12 hours earlier. I mean, how crazy is that? So there's a connection there, and from what he's saying he's saying that he can ID the person. And to me, if you can ID the person, to me, in one scenario, is that this person is well known, and that he can ID him for that reason. Like, oh, I know I could see him. But also, if he's looking at other video and his friends are there or whoever is there, he can make an ID by saying, look, I seen this guy move the Tesla, and then 12 hours earlier, as I'm going through footage, this is the same guy who moved the Tesla. Because again, they have a different style. They have their own style. It's very noticeable how they look. You see what I'm saying? So that's very interesting. That's very interesting. And man, oh man. Yeah, the LAPD didn't take those. Let's see. Let me catch up on chat real fast because I gotta move on to some more pictures. Venus says someone that was asked to move the car implies it wasn't David. He doesn't need permission to drive his own car. That's a good point. Dover, hopefully I'm saying that right, says I hope this evidence will get him locked up. Yeah, whoever it may be. And I think they do have enough evidence. They're getting the toxicology, and then they're gonna go from there. How long it's gonna take, we don't know. From that point. Kalisa Cat says probably a person whose friends hangs out with David. Could be. Let's see. Let me go over. So, do you guys remember this video? Let me play this video. And the internet found the location of this video.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my. Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
Hey, Flojo. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, so you guys remember this house, right? So I'll leave it up there for a second. And the internet was on fire after the SF Investigates came out. They found the location of this home. I have the pictures. I have the location. Let me bring this up. Right here. Here it is. Here's the house. And keep in mind these pictures. You've probably already seen these pictures, but see that? That's the home. This is from Zillow. Bedroom, living room, space right there, and then boom. That's his house. That's his other house. The internet found his other home, where Celeste allegedly is doing a live with him. Here's another. I mean, look at that. And then that was the background, the backyard. I'm sorry. And that's what they were saying, that she was staying at another home in downtown LA. Here it is. I mean, the pieces are just coming together. I mean, this is his other home. And see that right there, the table, the background? It's the same one with this location at his home. I had to take the video or the audio out because I'll get dinged. So, I mean, look at that. The internet found the home from where the live is. This
I
live.
media
I'll
trained
pause
you.
it.
No, you didn't.
I mean, isn't that insane? Look at that. The same home, the same counter. Everything matches up. Boom. What do you guys think? It's the same house? It's his house. Yes, that's the delete everything scene. Yeah, remember we were looking at and we were like, where is this at? Where is this at? Excuse me. I mean, and the stove, the window, right? The window, even the faucet is the same. I mean, this is his home. He's in the home. He's making videos, TikTok videos on his home, on his home. There's just so many videos. I couldn't upload so many videos. Okay. The thing is that he's there. It's his home. It's been proven. I don't know if it's still his or not, or this is a property that he transferred over. But this is where the live is. The delete everything live. I mean, yeah, the sink, the sideways, the sideways, the side of the what is it? The refrigerator right there on the side where that stove is, the cabinets. I mean, just every. I mean, you name it. Pick. I mean, pick whatever you want to pick and then compare it. It's the same house. Delete everything. Delete everything. Delete everything. Let me put this back up. Just a little reminder, a little refresher. See, those blinds are down. All right. So here's another one too. Let me blow your mind with this other one, because I've seen this picture and I've seen this picture in black and white. Right. So check this out. All right. Keep in mind that this is the house. We're talking about the house. I'm setting up the scene. This is in downtown LA. This is only. Check this out. 4 minutes away from the house, the Beverly Hills house. The Hollywood Hills house. I'm sorry, 4 minutes away driving. A 4 minute drive from the $20,000 a month home to this home right here, to the other one, to this one right here. Okay. So that's that. That's for sure. And now check this out, okay? Let me blow your mind with this one. See that right there? Where have you seen this picture before? Where have you seen this picture before? I am telling you, the internet is on fire with this case. You give them a crumb, you give them a little piece, and they will find it. Especially with this case, because they want justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Okay, so check this out. There's a video, picture right here. Where is this? Where have you seen this? You tell me. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Let me pull it up. This right here. Remember this? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Exactly, Flojo. Exactly. Exactly, Flojo. Everybody's on the same page now, right? Because this is the house where he could keep her away from everybody else. Nobody knew about this house until now, recently. Maybe his close friends, obviously, Celeste too. But this right here cemented that this is Celeste. She was in the home because she's covering her face. She always covers her face when it comes to these selfies, when it comes to being on camera. She's very careful. But why is she being very careful? Because she's underage. And look at that. Look at that. The selfie with her. Exactly. But see, that's not David in this picture. This is somebody else. So who is this person? And is he over 18? Venus, yo, the internet is undefeated. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Well, from what I'm seeing with the pictures, Kalisa Katz is he could have been bouncing from both. And look at this picture with Celeste, right? What is she doing in his home? What is she doing with this guy? Who is this guy? And why is he covering his face too? Anybody have answers? Because this picture, I've seen this picture in black and white only. Oh, it's the same guy holding the peace sign in other videos? Or in other pictures? I'm going to have to see that. I'm telling you, the internet is undefeated. Let me read comments. I'll look into more of that, the dates and stuff. I mean, the dates really just throw me off. The dates throw me way off because I'll see one date and then I'll see another date. And then, oh, it might be a girl? That's interesting. Interesting, Cindy. Interesting. But I'll definitely look at, if it was rented or not. Some of the information isn't out there yet, but with the information that I do have, it's this. It's that this is the same house. Boom, look at that. So let me read comments, but I'll definitely look into that. Definitely, if I don't know something, I don't know, right? I'm going as I go as well. Definitely, but yeah, thank you everybody. Hit the like button too if you wouldn't mind. Let's see. Gold Digger says he definitely went to the extremes to hide her, yet people that were around them say she thought she was 19. Or did they know the real truth? That's the thing too. That's the other good question. Did everybody know that she was underage? And man, I mean we get answers and then we get 1,000 more questions, right? Sharon says David has 4 properties listed under his trust, I believe. Let me check it. Oh wow, 4 properties. This could be one of them, and the Texas ones could be another one. Kalisa Cat says, I'm thinking they must have friends who know way more than. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That the friends know more than what they might be leading to. And they might be saying, well, we all thought she was 19. We all thought she was 19. Cindy Guzman, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. How many times have we seen a man with money and has another rental for his mistress? Absolutely, Cindy. Cindy's on it. Scratch that page. Maybe he had more girls. That's a very good question too. How many more Celeste girls are out there, right? When it comes to cases like this we usually it's not their first one. If they killed and there's more, maybe. I mean, but that is a very good question. How many more Celeste are there? Sharon, that's a waterfront property. The 2 properties in Texas, not waterfront. Okay, gotcha. I was a landlord. Oh yes, the Cindy says she was a landlord, and I'm sure she saw that. Yep. Stoked Ascension, good to see you, my friend. This new information is wild. My brain is like pretzels. Yeah, it's great to hear what y'all thinking. Good stuff, everybody. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. This same thing here. But yeah, this is the property right here. Let me see. I mean, almost $1.9 million home right here, and it's off the market. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and then I crossed out the uh, the address, but then I put up this other one, so it's already there, and plus it's already public record anyway. So I try to be careful, but I mean, there's some case where in certain times, I mean, it's already public. It's Zillow, it's public, it's already out there, and I think just people just want justice. I definitely do. Their family does, and Celeste deserves justice. The full hand of God, the full hand of the law needs to come down on whoever it may be. Whoever it may be needs to feel the wrath of God and the law upon their shoulders forever. So this is only a 4-minute drive from the Hollywood Hills to downtown LA. They call it downtown LA. And 4 minutes. It's just a 4-minute drive going back and forth. Boom, boom, boom. You stay there. In my opinion, it's like you stay there, you chill there. I'm going to go to my house and we can go there. So it could be too, it could be that, it could be that he's hiding her from the public, from his friends too. It could be that too. And he's bringing around all these other Celestes lookalikes to say, if they ever see me with underage Celeste, then I could tell them, no, it's her. I mean, I don't know. It's a stretch, but it's just kind of a little theory, I went down the rabbit hole, so I'm still a little dazed. But yeah, Cheryl Turner, thank you for that info. That's so good. Let me read comments. Kalisa Cats, have any of other Celeste girls come forward to talk? I haven't heard any from any of them. Maybe missed it. I haven't either. That's a good question too. If there are other victims, other Celeste girls, maybe they're afraid to come forward. Maybe the lawyer has already contacted them, right? David, tell me all the people that you've met. David, give me all their numbers. We need to talk to them. Maybe, but that's a very good question. Sharon, look, he has plenty of money. Yep. Kalisa Katz, It's still crazy to me when I think she was only 14 and experienced so much in her short life. Absolutely. And not only that, but when you go back another year, for example, then she's 13. How long back does it go, and how long back have they met? 13. Then you go back another year, 12. I mean, from 13 to 12. Then you go back another year, 11. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, it gets darker and darker and darker. Hey, Norma Guerra, good to see you. Cindy Guzman, very possible Celeste past in this was the rental for her. I seen he was paying 2,000 a month, so when she was running away, this is where she was running to. This could be the possible place where Celeste was running to. Yeah, Cindy. Yep. Cindy Guzman. Yep. This could be the very place. Like, look, check this out. I have another home, or whatever, right? He could be saying sweet things like, I have this other home. You can stay here. You can chill. I'll take care of you. Don't worry. I mean, that kind of sick shit. Did you guys listen to when he said that they found a camera with thousands of pictures in it? And it wasn't like a phone camera. It was like it was a handheld camera, one of those photographer cameras. I think this is it right here. Look at this. I think this is the camera this guy was taking pictures with Celeste and other people. Well, allegedly. So, my opinion. I got to say that again. Don't sue me. Don't sue me. But I really truly believe, and here's the thing. Yeah, the digital camera. Yes, absolutely. Here's the point that I'm making is this. This is very, very predatory in nature to have a digital camera like this. I get it. You're an artist. Use your phone. Why? I mean, I don't know. I mean, is that a stretch that I think this is predatory to have a digital camera? And I mean, what is in that camera? Is this what you used to take pictures with that you want to be discreet about it? You don't want to have it on your phone? I mean, all these questions are just mind-blowing because I mean, the information that camera must have. And I hope law enforcement did take those footage or download it. And again, the search warrant only gets picked up. You can only get. I'm sorry. Let me get some water. I'm saying that the search warrant is just specific to what it is. You can't take any other stuff. Let me grab some water real quick. It should be right here next to. Oh yeah, here it is. But yeah, this stuff. I mean, all this stuff that came out after. It like just re-energized everybody. It like revamped everybody. It lit a fire on everybody's ass to, hey, this case isn't getting cold. They have information. Law enforcement has video. Let's see. Ooh, one of his other personalities, Sharon. Now we're cooking. Venus says, did y'all catch when the PI said he found expensive material in his home that are used for the sole purpose of disposing a corpse? He said it was unopened. Yes, that was very disturbing. He said it was sadistic in nature. Sadistic. Let me look up that word. Let me look at the word. Let me see what that means. The full definition of that, of sadistic. What is sadistic? It's a very specific word. Sadistic. If I can spell it. So here is sadistic what it means. It says sadistic means a person is sadistic if they enjoy inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliating on others, either physically, emotional, or psychologically. Whoa. Examples: a sadistic bully might hurt others just to feel powerful. Holy shit. In some horror movies, the villain is portrayed as sadistic for taking pleasure in others' pain. His tone was cold and almost sadistic, as if he enjoyed watching her struggle. Holy shit. Related words: sadism is a noun, the act or tendency itself. His cruelty bordered on sadism. Holy shit. Are you guys listening to this? Are you guys listening to these examples and the meaning of sadistic? Holy shit. Dang. I'm glad I read that because I was like, oh, okay. You know, you think you know something and then you read it and you're like, whoa. So I'm glad I read that. Thank you, Venus, for that comment. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for reminding us about that comment. And it said that they... but see, here's my question to you. Do you think it was used for that purpose, or was it used to just to cut up the body to make it more easier to dispose of? Cindy Guzman, the PI investigator, said there was lots of stuff left behind. Yep. That got something incriminating info. Yep. Calista Katz, do we know if the LAPD was able to search David's home before he had his people move everything out? I'm not claiming this, but I hoping they have some evidence. Yeah, they did. It was a forced entry, a forced warrant, which means nobody needed to be home in order for law enforcement to go in. And I think that was strategic, even though he canceled his tour, David, to come back home. But the thing that trips me out is that with that comment you're saying, Kalisa Katz, is saying it's okay. If there was somebody in the building before and after the tour bus left, is he doing damage control? Is he cleaning the scene? Who is this person? What is this person's role? Sidney Guzman, very possible that he filmed the murder of Celeste. Could be. Some Jeffrey Dahmer stuff, Sean? Yep. Cindy from sunny South Florida. Under these circumstances, it is a suspect. However, I have family and close friends who still use cameras, even a few who still use film cameras. I agree. I think what trips me out is just the newer generation, like 20-year-olds, teenagers. They're more about their phone. And I think, with everything that I've learned, my mind goes there. Like, is this what you're doing with this camera? But absolutely, people do use them for sure. And they're not killers. They're not, moving bodies around for sure. Venus, we don't know if he bought too much of said materials and therefore had some left. Wow, that's a very good comment. Dang. This chat's on fire today. Very good comment. Cindy Guzman, he loves gore, blood. He's said that before. And I mean, look at his videos too. Native Girl, you cannot inflict pain or suffering on the dead. It implies to me the victim is alive. Whoa, that's true, right? That is very true. So maybe, oh man, yeah. Yes, we're listening. Cindy from South Florida, yep. Venus, David comes off as completely inauthentic, disconnected, and creepy. Cindy Guzman, I was thinking she was a sacrifice like an Illuminati cult. DVR, I think that was the next step of something failed. That's the thing too, is like, was it before? Was it meant for before? Was it meant for during? Was it meant for after? That's going to be interesting. Cindy Guzman, David has a buddy that was staying with him. He was pictured in the last movement of car. They say the window was half down. PI has a picture. I'm going to have to check that out. If you can drop my email, Native Girl, and if you guys have any information or pictures like that, or or just anything, or even if you guys want to just say hi too, send me an email and I'll look over it, because it's hard for me to look at every single thing, and it is very much appreciated, the insights. And if you find something, just be like, hey, I'm gonna send this to Mark. I'm very welcoming when it comes to that. Very welcoming. Don't think you're bothering me when it comes to email and information. Send it. Nick says 10 days ago on Popcorn Crown TV, Fisher says Celeste was seen on video with a friend. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Is that another creator? I don't know who that is. Let's see. Kalisa Katz. Sidney Guzman, yes, he did seem really sadistic. He lived for gore. He shared his worst inner thoughts, motivations, and he was able to inflict on Celeste, in my opinion. I mean, oof. Yeah, Nick, just send it to me, please. The Crypto Crossroads Lawyer show. With the LAPD, the professionals excellently left behind important evidence that were eventually found by private investigators. Did the LAPD do this on purpose? Cindy Guzman, blood T-shirts. What if he mixed her blood and ink with those T-shirts? Jeez, I know, right? That's dark. That is dark, and that's the thing too, Cindy Guzman. That's they don't think like how we do, critically, like critical thinking. And I mean, obviously, we wouldn't do that, right? Like dismember a body. We wouldn't do the things Jeffrey Dahmer did. We wouldn't do the things any number of these serial killers would do. And that right there, I could see somebody in that state of mind trying to do something like that, to try to put that hand and blood and things like that on shirts or whatever. I'm not saying he did. I'm saying I could see something like that with in the right circumstances. I mean, look at Jeffrey Dahmer. He made holes in people's head and put bleach down it or something, and to try to keep them a zombied so they wouldn't leave them. Thank you, Native Girl. Flojo, he ran out of time. They found evidence in the house that there were more sadistic plans to get rid of her body. That's what the investigator was saying. But I'm trying to ask. I'm trying to. I mean, my question is: was that also for yes afterwards, but could have also been during or before? Could that been a thought? Right. I'm gonna use this for later. I'm keeping this to do my sadistic stuff. And then the overdose happened. He killed her anyway. He did whatever he may have done, and he never got to do what he wanted to do, was to do these sadistic things to Celeste, to do these sadistic things to somebody. Do you see where I'm going with that? I mean, it's just it's wild, during, before, or after. Nonetheless, it is very concerning to have those types of items there. Let's see. Thank you, Native Girl. So they probably found saws or items to cut her up when they got back from tour. Oof. The Crypto Cross says that's ritualistic for sure. No Morguera, that's real dark mark for sure. 100%. 100%. The darkness of this, to leave somebody there like that, you have to be a special kind of person, a piece of shit, that life is meaningless to you, especially a 14-year-old girl. Think about that. Think about it. Part of the plan, in my opinion, is always the plan very unsettling. Yeah, part of the plan, as Della Dank was saying. Kevin says, what is that red circle? That's the camera that SF investigates in the previous, earlier that we showed. He was talking about a camera that he saw thousands of pictures of David and Celeste and his friends. That's why they have the Hello Kitty, to entice young girls, lure them, sex trafficking young girls on these sites. Cindy Guzman says. Della Dank, what's done in the dark will always come to light. 100%, 100%. Also, welcome in, Kevin. Welcome in. I mean, this stuff gets dark. This stuff gets dark because you already have a 14-year-old body in the front of your car. I mean, that's dark in itself, right? You have to carry this body, this dead body, into the front trunk. You're already saying, I'm not going to take this to the police. I'm not going to take this to take her to the hospital. I mean, this you're just not being human at that point. Holding a body and putting her in the trunk front of a Tesla. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? So whoever it may be, whoever put her body in there is already not there in their mind. That's right. So yeah, that's one of I mean, I've wondered who this person was right here. Who this person was in this picture. And hopefully it'll come out. Hopefully it yeah, SF Investigates, check him out. He's pretty big. I think he just has Twitter. I'm not too sure, but he's on Twitter. Check him out on Twitter, on X, SF Investigates. And check out also the videos if you guys want to check those out. For it was a Sidebar and Ashley Banfield. Shout out to them. Good interviews, great interviews, and man, this case just, I mean, imagine the little crumbs that we got from this private, the little crumbs. Now imagine what police have and what they're going to come out later. Fortunately, with an arrest, I hope. I mean, this just can't just, you can't sweep this stuff under the rug. You just can't. Right, as the layers, excuse me, as the layers get peeled away, the darker this all gets. Yep, Cindy, I agree. I agree. I agree. The front was very small. Cindy Guzman was saying. Kalisa Cat says, it's crazy he would have left the camera with all the pics. Why? He has people he can ask to go to pack up all his things. It's almost like he wanted to get caught. Venus, okay, I was looking on here. We'll do, yeah, for sure. Check him out. He's really good. He's been keeping up with the case, and then now he is hired by the homeowner to find out what's going on. And I think he's doing it right. In my opinion, I think he is doing it right because he's handing over information. I'm pretty sure he's being careful, and he's handing over information to the police 24 hours when they find it. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Della Dank, do you still think it wasn't her in the live stream? No, Della Dank, I think it's her. I owe you a burrito. Tell me what kind of burrito you want. Rub it in. It's okay. You win. You win. But I mean, no, I'm still kind of, well, you know, it's just, it's hard not to think at this point, Della Dank. Before, yeah, I had my reservations, yeah. But today, as of doing this video, I mean, I think it's her. I'm like, he bought it already? All right. Uh-huh. All right, so Cindy Guzman says, this crazy thinking investigators do this to catch the right person. Absolutely, Cindy Guzman. Absolutely. There's a good book by John Douglas, Mindhunter. That's a very good book if you're in the true crime community. If you are in the true crime community, that's a really good book. John Douglas by Mindhunter by John Douglas. That's what it is. All right. I bought it already. Burrito. I know, I'm getting hungry too. But all right, guys, this is gonna be it. Thank you so much. I have to get going. I got to get my daughter to clean her car. But we went over a bunch of stuff. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way out. Thank you so much for coming in. And yeah, you guys have a good night. Thank you again. I got to get going. I got to get my daughter's car to get cleaned. It's already been 2 hours. I told myself I was going to do 1 hour. So I got to call her. Thank you again, everybody. My mods, my subscribers. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, being cool, being respectful. And I appreciate everybody that comes in. So everybody have a good day. Have a good night. I appreciate everybody. And yeah, I mean, hit the replay, hit the like button, share it. Let's get it. Let's get justice for Celeste Rivas. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning. Just the beginning. So thank you, everybody. Have a good day.